Okay, hello everyone. Obviously, this is my cat. If you're going to watch this on the replay, I'm, oh, I am playing a Castles and Crusades solo campaign, and I'm going to wait a few minutes to get started. Again, if you're going to listen to this on the replay, my cat, the wargaming assistant, has joined me. And tonight I'm at my other desk, so the lighting is better. I prefer to use my dining table. It's got the green gaming mat on it, but in the evening the lighting isn't so good there. So we're on the desk, and I have someone sent me a bunch of PDFs of encounter tables and stuff, and I can open that on my tablet, so I have that to make it a little more dynamic. I'm gonna open that up here and then see who shows up this evening, and if not, even if I don't get a lot of people, I'm just gonna start playing, and we can have the recording. So in the meantime, there'll be a little bit of opening stuff. And this is part 2. So part 1 was kind of long, but we created characters. So we have a knight and a cleric, and they are escorting a treasurer for the kingdom of Jagalon. The knight and the cleric are both part of the royal government, and they are escorting a treasurer down this river to a new fort here at this kind of bend in the river, and that's what we're doing right now. However, early in the journey, the riverboat was attacked, and one of the crewmen was accidentally killed by the knight. So by a Knoll slaver, and we have to go deal with that somehow. The knight wants to. So that's kind of what's happening. If you don't want to watch all 3 hours of the first session, and I made I wrote up a summary of what happened in the community page. So if you want to see that, it's there. Okay. All right, let me open this up, and okay, we've got a treasure tab, a treasure tome from Castles and Crusades. Let me try to open this elsewhere. Open in another app. There we go. And skip for now. Oh, hey Telemachus. Yeah, thanks for sending all that stuff. Because it will definitely come in handy. I'm just downloading it onto my tablet here before we kind of get rolling. And decided to go on the other desk this evening, so the light should be better, since there's like an actual overhead lamp over here. Let's see. Downloaded the, oh yeah, we want the, NPC creation table. Yeah, and those Xanthar encounter tables were actually pretty good, for, sometimes the 5e stuff is a little hit or miss. Okay. All right, that's going to be downloading. Let me, and then I've got they did have the, I can't remember if you sent it or I found it later, that the third printing of the Castles and Crusades Monster and Treasure is free. So I got that off Troll Lord. Yeah, that would be great. I'm hoping, there's someone, there's gotta be someone that's, found that somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Counter tables, creation tables. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a few more minutes, then we can get going. Because I'm probably just going to play for, say this one's mostly for the replay, but, whatever. I know it is Easter, so I figured that probably wouldn't be as many people join, but I was just kind of excited to see what would happen next, so I thought I would do it, and probably better than me just aimlessly surfing the internet all night. So, okay. I do have an idea for a character that we could encounter. So if we make it to the Knoll camp, I think this is kind of maybe planning a story, but I might have that there's a steppe ranger that the Knolls have captured that could join the cleric and the knight. And I was thinking about how to do this in Castles and Crusades. So you can it's pretty open with creating your own class. But what I think I'm going to do for this world is the ranger is not like really a forest ranger. It's going to be someone who is from one of the steppe nations or tribes, and instead of getting the trap ability and the what is it? Let me look. I'm gonna look at this real quick. So there's two abilities I think I'm going to take away from the ranger, and instead the ranger will get horsemanship. Let's see. I think instead of traps and conceal, they would get horsemanship, because that would fit better. Yeah, it could be a barbarian, but I don't... Let me look at the barbarian. I mean, that could work, but... these guys are a little more, maybe sophisticated, I guess. Combat sense, primeval instincts... Yeah, because these guys would not really be like the classic barbarian. Um, Intimidate. Yeah, I think I'll do Ranger. But maybe I don't need to do that. Since this is just my own campaign, I think the Ranger will just have horsemanship automatically. And then, so he could still have like the concealment, but there's probably just not going to be a lot of opportunity because most of the terrain is like flat. So there's only so much I guess you could do. Yeah, that's a good point. I'll roll him as a ranger, and then we'll see how that works because this is kind of an experiment. So. But he would also be like wearing pretty light armor, like like this boiled leather armor, like a chainmail coif, or padded armor probably. Yeah. All right. All right. Dice out and. I think if it's, I'll wait until like 15 minutes in, and then we'll just get rolling, and people can join in if they're going to join in. It's kind of hard to get. Trying to get the world map in the shot with the like actual game notebook, but it seems to be not so easy to do. Well, I guess you guys don't. All right, that might work. Or I can do it like this. Slide this over. All right, that might work. Okay. It's pretty amazing. You can pretty much run this game with a notebook. You know, when I got the 3.5 stuff as a teenager, I was big on like miniatures. I thought you needed like this big elaborate setup, but no, all you need is like a notebook. You really only need pen and paper, as the old moniker for these games says. All right, we'll just get going, and if people join, they join, and if not, they can watch the replay. Hopefully this won't be as long as the last one, but who knows with me. I could get on tangents or something. So, okay, so we had... So we finished. Okay, so it was about 9:30 p.m. when we finished in the game time. That was after the melee happened, and after the stream ended, I made a note that at 11:30, our null slave master returned to his camp. I'm not sure where that is yet. We'll probably have to roll that up. And I did give, I wrote down this generic Knoll profile that you gave me, Telemachus. Should put Knolls because the Sirtlan, the Knoll slave master, he's a little bit tougher. So day 2, let's see. So day 2, everyone is on the boat. We have okay, everyone's on the boat. Everyone stayed on the boat. I don't think there will be any other encounters in the evening. Well, what should I do? Oh, wait, I should look at there's like the time. It's like things are organized into watches. So maybe I should roll to see if there are any other encounters in the evening after the Knoll. So let me look at this. Let's see, combat. Attribute checks. Should probably read that part more carefully. Okay, here's what I'll do, since I can't, let's see, movement, is it in adventuring parties, perhaps? No, okay. No, I don't think... Okay, I will do this. So, we left off at 9:30 p.m. I'm just going to do one encounter roll, and that'll be see if something else comes. If I don't like it, I can always, I'm the GM and player, so I can just change it. So let's go to the, okay, it's dungeon generation. Random dungeon for solo play, random monster encounters, okay, outdoor monster encounters, patrols in inhabited areas, outdoor random monster encounter, okay. Temperate and subtropical conditions. Okay, a monster level table which must be consulted. All right, now to try to parse through the High Gygaxian. Actually, it's not that complicated, but he's really not my favorite writer to have to sit here and read sometimes. Okay, so All right, we're like in a first level equivalent. So we're going to look at table 1 through 16. And what do we roll for this? Okay, so this is D100. Wait a second. Oh, okay, do we roll? Oh, I see. Okay, we roll for first level, so we do D20 and then we go to the table. Okay. Now I'm learning. All right. Okay, so that's a 5. So, okay, we go to table 1 and then we roll yeah, some of these monsters don't exist in my world, so we'll think of something as a suitable substitute. Table 1. 71. Okay, that's a rat. A giant rat. Okay, so maybe some giant rats pass through, but if they're on the boat, no, here's what can happen. Okay, so some giant rats pass through in the night at about shortly after 10 p.m. And they try to chew on the rope that's helping to hold the boat lashed to the riverbank. So let's make a wisdom check to see if either of our player characters detect this. Oh, and I guess we have to roll for how many there are. So how do we do, how is this table, what are we supposed to do? It says 5 to 20. Do I get to pick, or how does that work? This is dungeon. Hang on a second. Underwater, shallow water. Okay, we are technically in shallow water. Astral and ethereal, psionic, fortresses, psionic. Let's see, castle. Oh, outdoor random monster encounter tables. Okay, this is probably what I needed to roll. Yeah, the rats are fine though. I'll stick with the rats, and then we can for this encounter. Okay, so the rats. So let's see if. All right, I'm gonna roll to see if Lucian or Clara can hear this, because he is. If he can kind of, yeah. 17, so yeah, he can hear it. And what happens? So he wakes up and he hears them gnawing on the rope. Now, in my mind, the boat is also a little bit on, like, the bank, so it's not only tied down. But they hear, and then he gets the boatman to wake up, and they start throwing, like, kind of, and they start, like, what would they have on board to throw? Well, they probably have, like, tools and stuff, so some of the boatmen, like, start throwing throwing things at the rats, and they scurry off. Okay, so probably shouldn't have ended the log for day 1 so soon, but that's okay. So we it's about 10:30. We'll say another hour. Well, how do we want to do this? It's probably in watches. So, whoops. Oh, let's go back. We want to go back to that. Outdoor, subarctic, uninhabited. Okay, how do I use the outdoor table? So what would I roll? Okay, so I understand this is like underwater encounters, deep water encounters. Okay, that's dungeon. Okay, dungeon random monster. Okay, but we're not in a dungeon, we're outdoors. So what do we do? Outdoor, okay. All right, we're kind of learning here. So let's see. Okay, so this is all dungeon stuff. So we've got a D100 for the underwater stuff, and for the astral stuff. Okay, that makes sense. And then what do we do? Patrols, fortresses, castles. Oh, I see. So it's based on the terrain. So it's still a D100. Okay. All right. Just took me a minute to... What's rough? Rough terrain. I guess that's probably like Badlands or something. All right. So that's... Okay. So we're kind of in a plain, like a plain, or we could roll... It's not really marsh, though. It's just like river, kind of river plains. So... Okay, so now I get, okay, so this is still D100. It was just broken up differently. All right. Oh, that's subarctic. Well, we're not in subarctic. Temperate and subtropical. Yeah, that's what we want. Kind of in plains. Okay. So I think we're going to pass the night relatively safe. And then in the morning... other than that, we wake up and Spiro, the boat captain, has to, he's still angry, but he's under contract, so he would be paid extra days. So I think, okay, so in the morning, Divinicus goes to Spiro and assures him that any additional time he spends on the water, he will be remunerated for, even if we have to take time to go deal with this Knoll situation. And Divinicus, Lucian, and Shandor all discuss this and say that, well, we have to deal with the Knolls because what if they start expanding their territory? And they tell Spiro this, that he will be compensated, and as will his crewmen, of course. And they have to go to find the Knoll hideout, basically, wherever they're hiding. So, all right, I'm going to have to make kind of more of a local map. So we're probably not that far. So when I did this, I did every quarter inch was like 1 day's travel, and I have to get my ruler here. So we passed the first kind of halting station, and that was a quarter inch from Blackmatic, the river port town. So that would be what, if we're saying on this map, 1 inch is 100 miles. That would be 250 miles that they've covered, right? If it's a quarter inch to 250, is it? Yeah, that would be 250 miles. I guess you could cover that on a boat. Well, this is kind of like the boatmen have a blessing. Oh, 25, yeah. Yeah, 25 miles. Okay, yeah, 25, that makes more sense. Yeah, 25 miles. I thought it was 1,000. Yeah, you're right, Telemachus. Okay. Okay, so let's make a little local map here. So we're doing. Okay, so on this map, a quarter inch is 25 miles. Hey, Charles. We're doing some math right now for a map scale. Okay, so on this map, a quarter inch is 25 miles. So I think on this map, I will do 1 inch equals 25 miles. Okay, actually, I should look at this. Okay, 5 squares per inch. Okay, so, all right, so let me zoom in slightly. Uh-oh, nope, I don't want to open that, cancel. Okay, so, okay, so that'll be 0, and then 25 miles. Oh, yeah, I bet your grandson was not very interested. So let's see. Okay, so we're like kind of on the river. All right, I'm probably gonna mess this up, but okay, let's just sketch this out quickly. So we've got. All right, so I'm just gonna draw like a square. That'll be Blackmatic. And we've gone down the river River is pretty big. We've gone down the river 25 miles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are about here. Put a red X here. Okay, that's where our boat is on the river bank here. And then the river's course continues kind of like this. And then here we have plains, like irrigated plains, and here is like drier steppes. How far could the Knoll reasonably travel? Probably he can't cross the water. Well, I don't know. He could have a canoe or something. I mean, if he lives in this area, I think a Knoll could handle a canoe. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna roll on a d4 to see what direction he went in, and then from that I will determine which way we have to pursue him. But we'd have to figure out, so Shandor and Lucian would have to figure out where he even went, so we'd have to track him somehow. And we don't really have anyone who has tracking skills. So, how do we want to handle this? All right, I'm just going to roll. So this would be information the characters don't really know. So I'm going to say, just going to do so I'll make a little compass here. I've got north, south, east and west, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's a good idea, Charles. Yeah, we could probably do that. All right. Okay, so 1. All right, so 1, that's simple enough. Okay, so he went north somewhere. And he journeyed for about 2 hours to get by. This is a judgment call I made that so the melee happened at 9:30 that night, and then he got back to his area at about 11:30. Yeah, so his speed, okay, so they move 30 per round, 30 feet per round. How far could he, in 2 hours? I mean, he is a Knoll, so you can usually walk, about 3 miles in an hour? Probably more than that, 4 miles. Yeah, so he moved about, let's say, 8 miles to the north. So, actually, I'll make kind of a wavy line just because we don't really know. He went somewhere in this direction. Yeah, somewhere in this irrigated river plain here, up here. How do we want to? Okay, now I'm gonna. All right, so in the morning, I think Divinicus will stay with the boatman, and then Shandor has a horse, so he can take the horse with him, and I guess our cleric Lucian could ride with Shandor, like on the back of the horse too, or maybe he walks, because they do have to kind of go slowly. So, yeah, so Lucien walks, and they have to try to track. So they're on the banks of the river. They really have no kind of no idea where to start. Other than the knoll escaped to the north, and they have to find him. So how are we going to do this? Okay. So Lucien does not have any kind of tracking abilities, but he does have wisdom. We could hire a guide. So let's just do some wilderness encounters. So they're just gonna, they kind of know from the direction that the knoll escaped, they kind of know that he went north from their little camp and the position of the boat. And they're just going to set off kind of in that general direction, and we'll see what we run into on the way. Okay, so let me open the wilderness encounter. Let's see, does this give us any... So this is mostly creatures, but does this give us... Okay, we can roll a humanoid, potentially. Or a demi-human. Well, we don't have demi-humans in my world, so we might just call that a human if they run into that. Just trying to figure out these Pleistocene, subtropical, temperate, fairy, and sylvan settings. Inhabited or patrolled areas. Actually, that's more what we want, because we're not really that far into the wilderness. We're more in a kind of semi... Yeah. All right, let's just roll, see what we get. Okay, so I think So, how far could they move in an hour? I'm going to say... Hiking, it could cover like maybe 3 miles in an hour, moving carefully, keeping an eye out. So at 8 a.m. they set out. 3 to 4 miles. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Telemachus. I'm going to call it 3 just to represent that they're going a little more slowly to kind of check things out. So 8 a.m. So Shandor is kind of walking his horse slowly, and Lucien is hiking beside him, set out in search of the knoll. Well, knolls, there's probably more. Uh, 52. So what does that give us? A merchant. Actually, okay, so we encounter a merchant, and he is traveling south, probably from some kind of farming community in this area. And he's laden with gear, and as a knight, Shandor approaches him and says, did I roll that? Okay. Yeah, 49, 41 to 68 men, merchant. Yeah, so it's a small caravan. And they meet the caravan, and Shandor kind of waves him, and they stop, seeing that he's a knight and he has a cleric accompanying him. And let's do a reaction roll. So let's go to the where is this? What kind of a merchant is this? NPC creation. So what alignment is he? 9. He is neutral. Oh, that was on a D10. Whoops. 2. So he is lawful neutral. Okay, that kind of makes sense for a merchant. He could be a poor merchant, maybe. So let's see how many possessions he has. 5. Okay, average. Appearance. He is youthful and unkempt. Okay, so let me make notes of this. Encounter. Sanity. As a Call of Cthulhu player, this is always the best part, right? Sanity, 3, normal. Okay. Let's see, do we need to roll his tendencies? Because this might not be a major character, or he could turn into someone interesting. We don't know. Yeah, why not? This could be fun. General tendencies. We roll D12. I guess, do we roll D12 and D6? Or what? I'm not sure. This table's not super clear. Or I guess, do you roll a D12 and D6 and then multiply it? Does that work? Okay, so if we do 9 and 9 times 2 is 18. Yeah, but 9 times 6, that would be more. Okay, do we just add it? There's really not a lot to go off of here. Okay, I'll just add it. 11, he's trusting. That's good. Personality, D8. And then another D8. Four, it's an average. And 6, he's well-spoken. Okay, this guy's pretty complex because he's unkempt but well-spoken. Oh, maybe he's just kind of rough from the road. He's just had a long day. Disposition. Humble. intellect, active, nature, forgiving, materialism. Okay, it'd be kind of weird if we get an aesthetic. Is it meant to be ascetic? Okay. Okay, covetous. That's kind of makes sense for a merchant, for a traveling merchant. Covetous. How honest is he? Oh, honesty is a D8. Oh, when the personality was a D8 and I rolled the D10, I think, whoops, okay. And, yeah, okay. All right, that's my mistake. 5. He is average honesty. Normal bravery. Morals, D12. Perverted, okay, all right. Oh, okay, so we have to roll again. So if we roll, if it is again indicated, okay. Yeah, he's a 10 again. He's perverted. Okay. All right. And piety. Oh, I guess you guys can't really see the dice rolling. Let me zoom out. Yeah. Okay, let me try this. Zoom out a little bit there. Okay. Hey, Mike. We're rolling up a wandering merchant that our adventurers have encountered, who is he is impious. Okay, that would fit. If he's a perverted guy, he would probably be impious. Okay. Great character to roll on Easter. Okay, oh, we're still not done yet. Okay. Energy, that's a D8. 6, that is energetic. Yeah, I'm a fan of this, actually. This is like interesting, like especially for a solo game, because you can, this is like, you can do a lot with this. Okay, thrift. How thrifty is he? He is mean. Again, makes sense if he's like a merchant. Let me just underline this. 8 a.m. Encounter a merchant. And interests. Okay, I'm still not sure how this D12 and D6 thing works because it goes over 18 if we're meant to add it. So, and if we multiply 12 times 6, that would be also higher than 24. All right, what did Gary mean by this? Unless I'm just being dumb. Okay, okay, well, all right, D12 is a 1. And then D12, comma, D6. What does that mean, though? That would give us 3. Okay, did it say? Did I miss this? Does it say like what the... No, it doesn't explain how you're supposed to do that. Okay, I'll just add it together. 4, his interest is in nature. And okay, well, I think I'll roll in the collections table. Oh, D12 is 18. Yeah, I guess Telemachus, I'm just confused because it goes up to 24. So I don't, because its interest is, I'm not, okay. All right, I'm going to roll in the collections table since he is a merchant, so he would have something. So what kind of merchant is he? He is 8, so he's in ornaments and jewelry. Okay. Okay, all right, now, all right, do we need to do... Oh, okay, here we do the reaction. Okay, encounter reactions. Reaction is rolled by percentile dice. Okay, so now we're going to roll... What is his reaction? So, Shandor being the knight... He waves at the merchant. I think he's going to be a lone merchant in this situation because this isn't like a caravanning area. He's probably going back and forth from Blackmatic to his to the farms like outside, and so Shandor kind of dismounts from his horse and waves and bows to the man and says, "Greetings, sir. We're looking for gnolls in the area. There was an attack last night on the river of a riverboat encampment." And what is his reaction? 10. Hostile immediate action. Okay. Adjusting score for charisma and applicable loyalty. All right, so we probably have to want to roll a charisma check. So, okay, so yeah. Nope, this fits, right? So we said he's impious and he's got perverted morals. Whatever, we'll leave that. What that means is going to be a mystery. But he's not a great guy, and he sees Lucien as a cleric who doesn't really engage with him. He lets Shandor do the talking, and he says, "I have no interest talking to a knight and a cleric. I came to the frontier to get away from you people. Why are you here? Get away from me." And Shandor will try to get control of the man. And I guess when you do charisma, oh no, you're gonna make me hungry, Mike. He's a jewel and ornament merchant, so maybe he needs some herb crusted chicken with bacon ranch broccoli. So Shandor is kind of insulted, but he tries to use his knightly force of personality to get him under control. So we're going to make a charisma check. And we'll say this is challenge rating 2, because this guy is pretty angry and hostile to them. So he's going to have to get... All right, so let's see. Okay, so that's 12, plus Shandor gets a plus... What is the bonus? Yeah, it's a good idea, Mike. We might have to do that. Okay, so that's 13, and yeah, I think that should succeed. Well, no, because if it's challenge rating 2, no, it doesn't succeed. Oh wait, no, but we add his level, so that's +1. Plus his charisma bonus. Okay, so it does meet it. Yeah, it's 2. Okay. So, alright, so Shandor says, thanks, Mike. Yeah, that's the character in this online Castles and Crusades game I'm playing, so, yeah. He's the Geza, the rogue, so I decided to play a rogue in that game. Okay, so he meets it, and he says, so he passes the die roll, and Shandor says, kind of insulted, but he says, there's no need to be so angry, and my, we are looking for someone, if you'd like, we may, take you back to our camp this evening for a meal, or you may go to our river camp. It's about 4 miles back toward the river, and we would be happy to have you to eat. There's plenty of provisions on the boat, and the merchant kind of calms down, but he's still skeptical. And does he know about the gnolls? How would I do this? Because I could roll, what does he know? Because he might not know anything. Okay, so, okay, merchant, 12, minimum 12 minimum intelligence, charisma. So if he's got 12 intelligence, he will, probably be one of his prime attributes in Castles and Crusades, if we're thinking about it like a class. Okay, so he's going to roll and see if he knows anything about, so 10, so he says, no, I know nothing about gnolls. This sounds like some hocus pocus. Everyone knows that the gnolls were driven over the river many years ago, and you are being crazy. But I guess I'll take your offer for a meal, and so the merchant says, I will give them your name. Give them our names. I am Knight Shandor, and this is Lucian, a priest of the divines, and the boat captain will know that you have encountered us and that you may camp with us for the night if you choose. And with that, he moves on, and Shandor and Lucian continue on their journey. We should give him a name, though. What kind of name would this guy be? He's got kind of a rich sort of appearance, so I think We should give him a name. We'll call him the Merchant. Let's see. What should we name him? Seems like kind of a grubby guy. We'll name him Borgo. Yeah. Borgo the Merchant. He's not very happy. Okay, so that's our first encounter of the day. And let me start on a new page. So we'll do day 2 continued. So we continue on for the next hour of 9 a.m. and we advance another 3 miles. Okay, now let's go back to our wilderness encounter table, and on this device, wait, home. I just want the favorites. Encounter tables. Here we go. Where's that one? Okay, this is Ferry and Sylvan. We want in patrol areas, yeah. 87. Okay, an orc. We don't have orcs here in this world, so what should I do? I could just have it be a gnoll, but that would kind of be a cop-out. You know what? No, okay. Instead of an orc, it is a gnoll. So they come across a pair of gnolls, or hang on, let me see if there's something I can do. Let me go back to the treasure, classic, monsters and treasure. Boy, this doing just the kind of Control F thing does make going through these books a lot quicker. Null, here we go. Okay. Number encountered 2 to 8. So I guess I'll roll a d8 then and see how many we get. Oh, it could be Lizardmen. That's a good idea, Telemachus. I think Lizardmen would be a good addition to this setting, but maybe not in this biome, because we are in like more of a temperate kind of climate. But yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind, Telemachus, for Lizardmen. Because there's also like a cat creature that are kind of like the gnolls in this. I think it's in this one, or it might be in the classic monsters guide. So okay, let me just roll up. So we get a couple of gnolls. Yeah, 2. Okay, so we get 2 gnolls. We encounter them about 3 miles away. Are we near like a populated area though? How would we? I could randomly generate this. But we're just kind of in open plains, sort of near the river. So we're about 8 miles or about 6 miles from the river now. Okay, so we encounter 2 gnolls, and let's see, they could run. Cruel and sadistic, gnolls stalk their prey. They always use superior numbers. Okay, so they probably would not approach Shandor and Lucian head on. So I'm going to say that they were in the area. Maybe there's like some kind of dense grass that they were hiding in, and they jump out and try to attack. And now I think I need to look at if they managed to get surprise on our guys here. So situational modifiers. Surprise. Okay, so Lucian's going to make his wisdom check. And he fails, so they get surprised. So the gnolls rush out and attack. And so they get free combat. And let's see, defender is stunned. Okay, they're not stunned. Do they get a bonus to their hit if it's... The bonus or... Okay, that's to penalize the wisdom check. Okay. Okay, so they just get a free round. Okay, so the gnolls rush out and charge out of some tall grass. And I think this charge give them a... Charging +2 bonus to damage inflicted, but imposes a -4 penalty. Okay. All right, so they're going to charge out, and they will... So let me do a little combat map here, and... somewhere around here. Just going to make like a little inset combat map. There's really not a lot of terrain features. It's mostly just tall grass. So we've got our, going to have our, just make some hash marks like for tall grass. And we've got, okay, but, but Shandor is mounted on his horse, so that could help. All right, I'll look at that in a second. I'm just going to drop a little combat map here, and let me zoom in a little bit. So tall grass, we've got two gnolls that come out and charge. And we've got Geza, and Geza is a white circle, Shandor is a blue circle, and they attack, charge to attack. I think they're gonna attack Lucian because he's not mounted on his horse. But let me see what the mounted does for the knight, because well, I guess I could roll wisdom check for Shandor too. So maybe he did detect them. 15. No, that's not going to succeed because he doesn't have wisdom as a prime attribute, I think. No, he does not. So they are attacked. And since they're gnolls, they're going to attack the weaker target. Cover, deflect. Okay, so without the need to perform an attribute check, knights can saddle, mount, ride, and dismount, perform simple leaps of obstacles, fight from the mount during combat without penalty, control the mount in combat, stay in the saddle. Okay. Knight can direct the mount to attack and still make their attack normally. Knight can drop and hang alongside a mount. Okay, deflect. Okay, so he's just fighting from combat. So I think when the gnolls attack, they're going to hit the horse's armor class instead of the knights. So, okay, let me. Just kind of need a bigger desk. All right, let me. All right, so they're going to attack first. So our gnolls are going to attack first. They're just going to have short swords, I think. Nothing too crazy. And they're going to go ahead and attack. Oh, we got to... No, we don't do initiative because they get a free attack. Okay, so gnoll 1. And gnoll 2. Gnoll 1 will attack. And... Lucian's AC is 12. Actually, now that I'm here, I need to make a note of what Shandor's AC actually is. And he also is minus 2 hit points, so... okay, so his AC is 15, I think, because he doesn't get a dex bonus. Yeah. Okay, light warhorse is AC 14. All right. Okay, so see you later, Charles. All right, so gnoll 1 gonna attack. Critical hit. So I think, what is that gonna be? Double damage. And they are charging, so it's going to be a +2 bonus to damage already. Does this game not have critical hits? Am I, grappling. Attack. Movement, melee, initiative. Bonus to hit. Okay, actually, roll d6 for the left, right, and then d12 for the number. Okay, that makes sense, Telemachus, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to. We'll try that again if we survive this encounter. But I'm sort of perplexed because are there no critical hits in Castles and Crusades? That would be kind of weird. Modifiers. Maybe it's on 250. Situational modifiers. Cover. Combat maneuvers. Cold shot. Magic. Charging. Rear attack. Flank attack. Okay, there's nothing in here about a critical hit. Rules as written. Let me see. Critical hits. Natural 20 always hits. If that is the only way, there's no bonus. Critical hits are resolved by great hits and terrible misses tables from the Crusaders, number 7. Oh, Castle Keeper's Guide as the rules on criticals. Okay, thanks, guys. So I don't have that. I just have the player book. Base game did not have criticals as such. Okay, since I only have the base rules for now, I'm just going to say it's just a hit, and I don't, just to keep going, and search the house rules to create. Okay. So, all right, so yeah, it's just a hit. So he's going to hit 20, and he's going to have a short sword, which is d6, plus 2 damage from charging. And that's 6. Okay, and how many hit points does our cleric have? He is... Okay, so... All right, that's pretty bad. Okay, so our cleric is down to -2 hit points. So he is down to, okay, I'm just going to do it on the other page so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth. So, so Lucian, current HP, -2. So, the first gnoll rushes out of the tall grass. He draws his kind of rusty, ratty short sword, and cleaves into Lucien's armor. He tears through his padded armor and throws him to the ground. And okay, now I have to see what the... So this is a game where if you're at negative, so they do have negative hit points, and I'm gonna play. I kind of don't want our character to die immediately, but he might, and I'll just have to live with that. That's how these games go. So, let me see. Go back to the combat pages and. Okay, at -1 to -6 hit points, the character or monster is rendered unconscious and grievously wounded. They require bed rest to recover. Unless magically healed, a character so wounded must rest 24 hours before the process of healing begins. With most magical healing, the character's hit points can only be returned to 0, after which... Okay, so he doesn't have to make any kind of like constitution save, or anything like that. Okay, so he is pretty much just out of the combat. Alright, so yeah, so Lucien is at -2 HP. I'll put -2 out of 6 to make that more clear. Alright, and then our knight, the second gnoll, I guess he could hit Lucien while he's down, and the gnolls are pretty evil, so I think he's going to try to do that. Or, no, they might try to grab him to take him captive, because they are kind of part of a slaving clan, so, yeah, I think he's going to make a grapple check, which, in Castles and Crusades, I don't think is that complicated. Combat round, grapple, let's cast a spell, movement, grappling, roll to hit against defender's AC, defender is held and cannot act except to attempt to break the hold. Well, he's unconscious, so he can't really do that. He's pinned and held, okay, yeah, so the second gnoll gonna charge and try to grapple, but he doesn't do it. Okay, so the gnoll, because he rolled a 2, oops, that was a 2. Okay, so the gnoll like comes out and tries to grab Lucien, but he just kind of trips and stumbles, but then kind of gets back to his feet, but isn't successful. And then now I think we roll initiative because the surprise round is finished. So let's go ahead and roll up. Make a little initiative thingy here. So we've got Shandor, Gnoll 1, and Gnoll 2. Now Shandor is mounted, so he probably is going to be a little harder to hit. All right, so let's go ahead and roll D10 for initiative. 5. 4. 5. Okay. So I think Gnoll 2 is going to try to grapple Lucien again. And this time he's successful. And grabs onto Lucian. I guess he probably can't carry him away. He's just held. And then Shandor, well, I guess it'll be resolved simultaneously. So I think, I think Shandor is actually going to go ahead and attack Null 1 because they're doing this at the same time. So he takes out a sword. He's going to try to cut from, like, strike down at Null 1 from horseback with his long sword. And that's a 1, so he completely misses. And then Null 1 is going to try to attack Shandor. And I think we have to hit. So the mounted combat rules are not super clear. I think we would roll against the horse's AC because Yeah, I think I'm just going to roll against the horse's AC, because that's probably what a null would do anyways, try to cut at the horse, so the horse is going to attack the horse. 11, so that's a miss, because I don't think, see, do the nulls get a base to hit bonus? Oh, I need to roll HP for these guys, so it's 2d8. I'm just going to give them the same. So 1, so 7. So they're both going to have 7 HP. All right. And yeah, so he misses the horse. Okay, and then round 2. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and roll initiative again. So I think now, yeah, Shandor is kind of moved up on horseback, and he's here. And then we've got Null 2 is here. And Null 1 is kind of here. Okay, and initiative again. That's a 6. 5. And a 1. Okay, so Shandor will once again try to swing at the Null from his horse. Oh, that didn't really roll correctly. Okay, 3, so he misses again. And then Null 1 is going to strike at his horse. And that's a 2, so that's... Nope. So misses. And then I think Null 2 is going to try to make a fighting disengagement. So he's going to just move back 30 feet. So 1... So each square, I think, is 5 feet. So if we're doing this, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is like supposed to be an inset kind of map, so it's not literal. So let me just draw this a little bigger. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he is moved back with Lucian, carrying Lucian. I think that's allowed. That should be allowed according to the rules, like carrying somebody, but if I'm wrong, maybe someone will tell me at some point. I don't know. Okay, that's 2. And now, I think, yeah, so now we do it again. So that's 6. Uh-oh, 9 and 6. So Knoll 1 is going to swing at Shandor's horse. The Castle Keeper is never wrong. Okay, well, fair enough, Telemachus. Yeah, probably right. Okay, 9. So he swings at his horse, but the horse is kind of like getting up on its, on its hind legs and like, keeping the knoll from attacking accurately. Now, Shandor and Knoll 2 are going to move simultaneously. And I'm going to say that Shandor could make a half move before faster, because he's unmounted, so he can overtake a guy on, well, it's a Knoll on foot, so maybe they're a little faster, but 30 feet, they're about the same. Okay, so I'm going to say that Shandor, since he's mounted, he can kind of run down the knoll. He's going to disengage. It's not disengaging from the combat exactly. He's going to get away and try to engage here on horseback. So he's going to try to stab at this knoll from his horse. Please hit. Please hit. Okay, that's a cocked die. 17, finally. Okay, so he definitely hits. So he hits with his long sword, strikes the knoll. And let's see, what's the damage on a long sword? 1d8, yeah. And slashes the knoll for 2 damage. Down to 5. And then what is this knoll gonna do? He could try to keep running, because they are cowardly. What does he do? What would the knoll do in this situation? Because he could stay and fight, but Shandor is on a horse mounted. I think he's gonna just drop Lucian and try to make a hasty retreat off the battlefield. So yeah, so he's gonna drop Lucian and he's gonna try to escape and make a hasty disengagement, which means that he would open up to -2 to AC, and their opponent gets an attack against them as they run away. So yeah, so Shandor is gonna swing as the knoll tries to escape. And that's a 5, so he misses, so the knoll's running away. And we still have knoll 1. Is he going to stay? I think since his friend has run off and they don't have the advantage, I think they're going to... The second knoll is also going to start moving to disengage, so knoll 1 let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So null 1 is disengaging this way, and I'm gonna put him. Just gonna put him here. That's number 1. And he will run away, hasty disengagement. Would that give Shandor an attack of they don't call it attack of opportunity, but does not count against the opponent's other action, although the opponent may not make a second attack. Oh, okay, so I screwed that up, but he didn't hit anyway. Can't make a second attack against the fleeing character. So, alright, I'm just going to say now they've run off and they're, well, I don't know, maybe we'll do one more round, because if they can, so 6, 4, 10. Okay, so null 2, he's going to run off the field, basically, completely disengaged, and null 1, and then Shandor will make not even a half move and attack null 1. That's a miss, and he will, and then null 1 will also disengage from the combat, and that will be the end of the combat. So, but now they can't journey, so now, okay, now the combat is over. Let me make a note of this. Lucian reduced to -2 hit points and rendered unconscious. And he must require bed rest 24 hours before the process of healing begins. Okay. With most magical healing, the character's hit points can only return to 0, after which the healing process begins. Normally, those with 0 hit points recover. Okay. All right, so with that, the gnolls run off. And they flee out of sight. Probably kind of run off, and then they're probably, even though Shandor can't see this, they kind of hook back to where they came from, into some of that like taller grass. Shandor is very troubled. He sees that Lucian is grievously wounded, and picks him up and puts him on the back of his horse as best he can. And let's see, does Shandor have any? He doesn't have any healing abilities because he's just a knight. He's not like a paladin. So, all right, so he sets off at a swift gallop. I mean, they didn't move that far, so they only advanced 6 miles. Yeah, you know what? I'm still going to roll encounters to see if they can get back. Well, how fast can a horse move, like at full gallop? I mean, I know they can't gallop that long. Let me look this up. Average speed of a horse with rider is 30 miles per hour. 30 miles an hour. So to cover 6 miles, that would be what? 30 divided by 6. No, is it? Boy, I'm really showing how awful my math skills are. Okay. So 30 miles in 60 minutes, that it would be... Oh, brother. Wow, this is pretty pathetic. Okay, let me open the... Okay. Do we have a calculator here? No. Okay, I'm going to say that he can make it back within 1 hour, less than 1 hour. So he gallops back to at 10 a.m. Shandor returns to the boat with a wounded Lucian. "15 minutes is 7.5 miles. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Telemachus. Thanks. So yeah, so he makes it back even less than that. Yeah, so it should be more like, because that combat was how many minutes? That was what, 10, 20, because each round is 10 seconds. Well, we had the surprise round, so 10, 20, 30, 40, so 50 seconds. So really it would be like around 9:15 a.m., let's say. 9:15 a.m. Shandor returns to the boat with the wounded Lucian, and they unload Lucian and put him in one of the captain's quarters, in a hammock, where he can begin resting. So he's out of action. So Lucian is out of action, but he's resting. And okay, what are the consequences of this though? Because Shandor decided to go on this mission, and he really kind of bungled this pretty badly. So he talks with Divinicus, who's pretty frustrated by this because Spiro the boatman is angry that, this is like losing him money potentially, because he had this journey scheduled for 8 days, and he's now being roped into this thing he didn't ask for. And he says that Shandor says, please, there must be some way. I must do this Just more time, Divinicus, I assure you. And Divinicus says that this is not prudent, and we are not here to hunt gnolls. We must go and go to the fort. There could be more pressing things there, and we don't know if perhaps the gnolls are at the fort. We don't know. And Shandor interprets this as kind of an excuse. And he tries to convince Divinicus, and he fails. And Divinicus says, please, Shandor, just get some rest. You are also wounded. Because he is lightly wounded. He lost 2 hit points the previous evening. Healing. In general, hit points heal at a rate of 1 per day, and only if the character is resting well fed and kept warm. Okay. So, Divinicus, Spiro sees this, and Spiro is upset and kind of horrified at seeing a grievously wounded cleric. He's not completely so far gone that he doesn't care, and he's also kind of worried in a self-interested way because the cleric was potentially the person to take care of his crewmen if something happened to them. And they decide that they will pull up stakes now, and they will continue down the river. And they will begin rowing down the river, and Divinicus assures them that they will still receive extra pay and an indemnity for the slain crewmen from last night. And Shandor, well, no, they probably all have cabins on this large riverboat because they are government officials. They probably paid for that. The kingdom probably paid for that berthing. So Lucian is not in the captain's hold. He's in his own cabin, as are Divinicus and Shandor. So they are resting. And the boat will continue down the river to the next halting place. After about 12 hours of rowing, at around, let's say 9:30 p.m., row to the second halting place. Well, it's not row 2. They arrive at the second halting place in the boat. Okay, let's see. We could continue, but maybe, I wonder if there's some kind of terrain generation in, let me look at this other stuff, if there's something, okay. Okay, so they stop for the night, and I'm going to roll an encounter for the evening. What horrors await us? $34. Men Berserker. Well, that's not good. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't notice there's a city and town encounter. Uh, hmm. Creatures from lower planes. Sorry, I'm just looking through this, these encounter tables. Well, okay, Berserker isn't necessarily a bad guy, so, you know, it could just be like a barbarian. So, all right, let's go to our well, it says men, so how many would that be, though? I probably have to go to the humanoid table to get, like, the number. Let me go back here. Berserker, numbers 3 to 9. I'm going to roll just a d10 for that, and I'm just going to say, you know, one is 1 through 3, or 1 is 3, and yeah. Okay, so 4 Berserkers, and they come to see the boat. Everyone's staying on the boat. But you know what? I'm going to roll and create the lead, kind of the leader in charge of them. And yeah, because a Berserker isn't necessarily, it could be just like a barbarian that's going to, but we'll see how he, I'm going to go to the NPC encounter table, because this is just, let's see, we'll just say, so the Berserker, he comes up to the boat and waves, and this group of four Berserkers, human Berserkers. And they're probably from one of the steppe nations, so they're wearing like leather, wearing like kaftans, carrying some weapons, and I'm going to roll up the leader to see what kind of guy he is. Wearing like kaftans, probably have like some very light padded armor, and carrying swords. Approach the boat. Approach the boat. Now the boat's pretty far off the ground, so they could defend it. Like there's no way, the way I'm thinking of these big, like kind of river galleys, like there's no way they could jump on it unless they had like a grapple rope to do that. Maybe they do. We could roll for that, or some other way to get up onto the boat. So I'm gonna create the lead guy of this group as a more defined NPC. So let's go to that handy NPC creation table, which is so much fun. Okay, so let's do his alignment. Now, probably the way this was intended, a berserker is like a bad guy, but he might be. We'll see. I'm trying to make this interesting for myself. So 4. So he is neutral evil. All right, so that's not good. And possessions or wealth. So we'll just say the lead berserker. We'll call him Demir for iron. That's a good one. Turkic for iron, Demir, or Demirci, the iron one, something like that, ironness. Demirci, so he is neutral evil. Average possessions. Appearance, he is mature. And in age, mature age and unkempt kind of fits. Unkempt. So I'm hoping, see, if I do this, I think it's good if I create these, because then we can reuse them depending on what happens in the campaign. Sanity, maybe he's crazy. 6, he's normal. Okay. Normal sanity. General tendencies. Okay, this is the D6, D12 table that I got confused on earlier. So let me scroll up to see, Telemachus, what you said. Roll D6 for left, right, then 12 for the number. So I'm going to try that, Telemachus. Okay, so 4 through 6, so that'll be the right-hand column. And then I guess since it's 13 to 24, it's just whatever is on the D12. Oops. Oh, dice fell on the floor. Oh, where did it go? Three, so that would be, he's violent and warlike. Okay, well that's not good. Personality. Oh, D8, right, not D10. Okay. 8. Okay, so he's generally introverted and solitary / secretive. All right, this is kind of a perplexing fellow. Disposition. Man, this is like kind of fun. This is better than I could make up. well, probably, I don't know, better, but it's more interesting. It also feels more objective when I'm playing this alone than just like me improvising it for myself completely. So 3, he is a compassionate and sensitive disposition. Probably more for his own guys, I would say, but I don't know. Well, he is evil, so he's probably going to be opposed to intellect. He's brilliant. Well, this guy could turn into a villain. Brilliant intellect. Nature. That's a 1. Soft-hearted. Okay. For his materialism, he is greedy. Honesty. Can you be evil and be honest? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just be openly evil. You know, you're not like trying to conceal it. 3. Truthful. Okay. Bravery. Foolhardy. All right. Evil can just mean self. Yeah, that's a good point, Telemachus. Morals. Ten. We got a pervert again. Come on. Okay. All right. We have to roll again. Yeah, and we got a 10 again. I don't know what this is. Okay, so he's perverted morals. Okay. Piety. But he is reverent. Okay. All right. Let's see what's next. I think energy. That chart is cursed. Yeah, yeah, it must be. What is his energy? His normal energy. Okay. Thrift. He's a wastrel, so he likes to spend money. Interests. Okay, so we do the right-hand chart, and then 7, so that would be he's a collector of something. He's a collector of ornaments and jewelry. Let's see. Do we want to roll for any other features of this guy? Because my idea is if I do these, even though this is kind of long, I could bring them back, you know, at some point, or maybe our characters run into them again. Okay. Reaction. So he likes bottle caps and tinfoil. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so this group of berserkers They're wandering through the area. They probably have some kind of like pack camel with them, maybe. And they're on their way probably to Black Matic, maybe to work as mercenaries. And it's pretty dark, but they see that the boat is, there are men about on the boat. The crewmen are keeping watch at this time. Some are kind of eating on the deck. And no one is getting off the boat. And they, Shandor hears that the crew is probably on edge because they know the Knoll's attacked. So one of the crewmen alerts Shandor from his cabin, who has not regained any of his hit points because he hasn't been able to rest a full 24 hours. So he comes out of his cabin and, well, they probably have bandages on the boat so that they apply. So I'm going to see, let me look at bandages because they would probably have some kind of basic medical stuff, but nothing too crazy. So let me look at the equipment here because maybe Shandor does regain some hit points. So encumbrance, healing, page 255. Healing, weapon damage, potion of resurrection. Well, we don't have that on, this is just like a riverboat, so probably wouldn't have that. Let me go to the gear. I think it might explain in the equipment section. Provisions and lodging. Equipment, bandages, 2 wounds. But it doesn't explain how those work exactly. That's encumbrance. Magic. Okay, let me look this up. Okay, so there's no, it doesn't tell you, I think it heals 1 hit point. I mean, if I look up Castles and Crusades healing, that might be better. Healing. Oh, someone made this like cheat sheet, which is handy. Oh, but it doesn't explain the... Okay, I think a bandage heals like 1 hit point. That's what I'm going to say. So Shandor has recovered 1 hit point. So during the journey... So current HP is 9. Okay, so back to the actual situation. So the berserkers approach, and they wave at the boat, or no. So the river boatmen get Shandor's attention, and he sizes them up from a torchlight from the boat, and he calls out to them and says, what is your business this evening? Why do you come near this boat? And I will inform you that this boat is contracted in the service of the Kingdom of Jagalon. So if you wishes any harm, you will be branded an outlaw. And let's roll. What's the reaction of these guys? 73. Okay, uncertain, but 55% prone toward positive. Okay, so I guess our berserkers, maybe they're tired, and Demirji says, greetings. I am Demirji, son of Khalif. Myself and my companions were on the way to Black Matic to seek employment as guards. Shandor says from the boat, very well, go about your business. I will, we will not do you any harm if you do not do us any harm. And seeing the baggage of the... How many camels? I'm going to roll a d4. How many camels do they have with them? Maybe they've got some stuff. 4. Okay, they've got 4 camels with them. So seeing that they've got a bunch of camels with their gear, Shandor calls and says, do you have a potion? Our cleric, he is very grievously wounded. We would be more than happy to pay you. Indeed, I would pay you all 100 gold of my salary for this month to help our cleric. And I'm going to roll a charisma check. Nope, that's a failure. Okay, so Demergy looks up at Shandor in the torchlight and says, well, I'm sorry, but I have only enough equipment and potions for my own men, and we will need it for our upcoming job. But I wish you all the best. And they move on. Okay. Should we do another encounter for the night? I probably need to come up with something more like a certain number of hours. I think it's in the rule book, like the number of watches that are assigned, like 4 hours. So let's say if the boatmen end their rowing for the day at 8 or 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., 12 hours, and then they could rest until, let's say, 7 a.m. before they have to sort of get up to get moving. So what would that be? 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. So that would be 8 hours. I should probably, for the night encounters, I think I'll divide it into 2, like 4-hour chunks, because having an encounter every hour would be like a little too much, almost like a little too much going on. So I think, yeah. But I have been going for about 2.5 hours now. Do we want to do maybe one more encounter? That would be later in the night. I think I'll just leave it here for gameplay wise. So we've done day 2. We did create a couple new characters that we might encounter again. So we've got the Berserker, Mercenary Demiurgy. We've got Borgo, the Merchant. Both are perverts for whatever reason. We've got a curse chart. Yeah, so I think this is working okay for now. The characters haven't done that well in combat, but I'm kind of okay with that. It should be hard. And so by the end of the night, I think Lucian would be rested for 24 hours. Well, no, it would be when he got back to the camp or the boat. Yeah, so that would be like 12 in the morning. It would be 24 hours, so he would be up to -1 hit point. So I'm going to... Yeah, you're probably right, Telemachus. Okay, I'm going to make a note of day 3, so let me do that. So day 3. Day 3, we have by 7 a.m. Boatmen begin preparing to leave, boatmen begin morning activities. They all drank potion of perversion. Yeah, well, I think it's just this black magic. It's like this frontier town. They're doing all kinds of nasty things here. Probably there's not enough clerics. We got to get some clerics in here to clean this place up. So I'm also going to. So we've cleared. I'm just going to draw this again. Oh, we have a guest. Nope. My cat's trying to chew on the phone. Okay, so we finished stage 1, and they reached stage 2, and now stage 3 is they will be rowing to stage 3. Okay, all right, so I think now for the replay purposes, this would be the, like the end of the game. Now I just kind of want to, I think this worked pretty well. The encounter tables and the NPC generation that Telemachus that sent is really helpful. That's giving me something more objective when I roll up encounters than just coming up with it on the spot, because probably I still subconsciously kind of want my characters to do well, but we did have a pretty serious encounter today, because I thought okay, I'm gonna have this whole thing where they go to the Knoll camp and they're gonna rescue a new character, and they're gonna kill this evil Knoll. He's still out there, but he's still out there somewhere, and but that didn't happen because poor Lucian, the cleric, got pretty grievously wounded. So, I mean, he might be out of action for several days unless we can encounter a merchant or someone, maybe another cleric. I should probably roll. There would probably be another town somewhere along the river that they stop at, but I think I'm going to have that probably halfway, at the halfway mark. So, because that would make sense geographically, that there would probably be something, at least a village or something between Black Matic and the fort. that they would run into. Another thing, since we had like more monster encounters this time, since this is mostly humans, and I'm thinking now, probably a lot of the monsters have been pushed to kind of the margins. So like in these mountainous areas here, or like in the less well-patrolled areas of the river, especially on the steppe side, but also here, because, you know, my idea is the Jagalon, the kingdom of Jagalon, you know, since they've expanded kind of into this region, they've started to irrigate these areas, so it's open to agriculture. And, you know, people from Jagalon have moved in, and even some people from the steppe nations have moved to set up farms in this area under the protection of Jagalon. So, you know, they're farming and doing trading with the steppe nations for animals and stuff like that, and horses also. It's probably pretty important. So there's probably a village or something in here. We could, it's probably a way I could roll for that. Maybe do just like percentile of like if there is some kind of city. Let me look at those encounter tables, because I wonder if there's one that rolls like if you run into like a city and what, or a settlement, and like what kind of settlement it is. Let's see, this is NPCs. Let's go to the DMG encounter tables for first edition. Oh, random wilderness terrain. Oh yeah, here we go. Inhabitation. Check each space for the possibility of inhabitation. Use random numbers. Okay. I should have done this. Okay, well, let's roll and see if there's something at this third resting area. Maybe there is some kind of settlement, so I'm going to go ahead and roll for that. So, inhabitation. So let's go ahead. Is this D100 or D20? Use random numbers 01 to 00. Okay, so is this D100 or do we do D20? Okay, so it looks like it's D20, and then we roll again to see what precisely it is. You know, I know there's the people online that say, "Oh, this is like so clear," but it's generate a random number 1 to. Okay, so it is 1 to 20. Okay. All right. But wait a second. Oh, that's the ruins subset. Okay, yeah, thanks for catching that, Mike. So, okay, generate random number 1 to 20. Find the type of terrain by reading across the page, and then down the column you find the line with the random number generated falls. Simply move left. Okay. Uh, intent block is roll for... Okay, that makes sense, Mike. Thanks. Okay, so we got 16, and this is ruins. So this third station that they're at is ruins. And it is a ruined city. So I guess there was a city here at one time, but it is now ruined. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, I don't have the hex paper, so I'm not doing that, so that does kind of limit things for me, but yeah, so let me just write this in our notes here. And in my mind, this city is pretty old. This probably predates even the existence of Jagalon in this world. So everything's crumbling, and very little remains. But okay, so even if it's ruined, do we still check for inhabitation? Okay, so because we established that it's ruins, because we got 16 on the D20, and it's a ruined city, but whoops, but do we roll for population or something? Oh wait, I see. City. Oh, but the ruins don't have a population. I see. So I guess we're supposed to read across like this. Yeah, this is still, I mean, it makes sense, but it's still kind of a pain in the neck to understand what you're supposed to do exactly. Okay, so we're in the ruins. So like there's a ruined city near the river. And it's still kind of plains. I'm not going to roll that randomly because I've come up with this world, so that's kind of what we're doing. Someone or something might be there. Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. Let's see. We should probably roll for some kind of encounter. I mean, we're not going to get off the boat, but there could be someone moving in there. In the ruins. So let's just see. It's a ruined city, so it's not really a dungeon to me. Let's see. Underwater. Psionic. Castle inhabitants. So, okay. inhabited areas, always assumed to be patrolled. And this is kind of an inhabited area. I mean, it's not like completely out in the wilderness. Okay, I'm going to roll to see. Maybe there's a patrol that's moving through this area. 3, okay, so 5, and 20 is patrolled. So patrols are detailed hereafter. Patrols will be a racial composition appropriate to the area. Patrols will always be mounted unless there are extenuating circumstances such as terrain or a nation which shuns mounts. Leaders will ride war horses. Patrols will be commanded by a fighter or ranger where applicable, from 6th to 8th level, with a lieutenant from 4th to 5th level, and a sergeant to 2nd to 3rd level. There will be 3 to 4 first level men, and from 13 to 24 soldiers forming the main body. Okay. Now, for Castles and Crusades, and given my world, probably the commander is going to be a knight, as are the lieutenant and sergeants, and as are the first level men. So they're all going to be knights, and from 13 to 24 soldiers. So they're just going to be men at arms, plate mail, shield lance. Okay, not really plate mail. So they're going to be wearing like brigadine, and yeah, shield lance, and mace and longsword. Yeah, that's fine. Chain mail, shield, bow, or light crossbow, and a hand weapon. Yeah, that's fine. Accompanying each patrol will be a cleric, 40%, or a 6th to 7th level, or a magic user. Okay, magic users in my world are evil, though. So what I'm going to do is say it's going to be a Jagiellonian patrol that are in near these ruins, and if we get over patrol of skeletons. Oh man, that's also a good idea, Mike. Well, who's to say we can't have 2 patrols? I mean, it could be maybe they're hunting the skeletons. Okay, I'm going to say that this instance, it is a Jagiellonian patrol, and they do not have a cleric. So 77, they don't have a cleric with them. So they see them, and I'm going to just say 9:15, patrol from Jagiellon encountered. But they don't really seem to stop. They just seem to keep moving on their kind of rounds in these ruins. But there probably is something in these ruins that's not good. Maybe more gnolls, maybe some other creatures. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we did that. How are we doing on time? Yeah, I guess we're almost at 3 hours, so what else can we do? So I should draw another thing, another one of these like maps. So I'll do a little mini map here. And we've got, yeah, you all can see that. Okay, so we've got Black Matic here, what's a good symbol for a city? I mean, I guess I could do C, but let's do like a house symbol, like house. So we've got our city here, and then we've got the river like this, kind of, and yeah, because the way I've got it drawn, it kind of like arcs down. So we're going downriver like that, and we moved. So we're moving. That'd be 25 miles per day. Yeah. So I'm just going to say each square is 25 miles. So we stopped. Here was 1. And then we moved downriver about here. So that's 2. And then we're en route to 3. I don't know why I'm getting so nervous about being precise with this. It's just my little game, but okay, so put checks. We've crossed 1 and 2. Now we're at 3. Or we're going to 3. Okay, I think I'm going to have to just close this out. Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, have a good night.